Now, my Lord, one of the justifications given by the government for electoral bonds was that donors are reluctant to donate openly to political parties because of fear of whatever. Now, so we asked this question under RTI. So that response, RTI response, my Lord, is in volume 4, page 536. Volume 4, page 536. So that justification given by the, I'm only showing this to show that one of the justifications given by the government for introducing the electoral bond scheme was, they said that look, we are introducing this anonymous instrument of funding political parties because donors are reluctant to disclose who they are funding to. So we asked this question, was any representation received from any donor whatsoever that look.
No, but you don't have to have a representation from a donor to perceive that reluctance. I mean, you're just trying to analyze, RTI response really will not carry your submission any further.
No, I'm saying that government should have some.
There's an assumption that, look, if you disclose the name of the donor, there'll be other political parties who will know that you have contributed to this political party, and therefore they might be subject to, suppose a donor is carrying on business in the state. If the name of the donor is made available to all the political parties, the rival political parties will say, well, or especially if you are making a contribution to a party which is not in power.
Only fear would be from the party.
That's the logic. Whether it's valid or not is what we have to decide.
Correct. Now, Your Lordship may come back to my written submission. I just want
to show. Bhushan, you're on. The first argument was right to information under 19.
I'm coming to that. I just wanted to lay out the few other factors.
Now let's look at the material what you are supporting.
Interim orders, my Lord, two things.
Yes, let's see the interim orders. Where are they?
Page 15, bottom.
Volume?
Volume 1. In my written submission itself.
All right.
I've quoted it. And I've given the name of the convenience compilation for the original. Pointed out that the political party can well turn around and say we don't even know. I'm saying that, and ultimately,
so the purchaser of the bond may not be the person who is actually handing it over to the political party.
That's right. That's why they may say that we don't know. And they can also say that it was not even handed over in person. It was just left at our doorstep. So, or couriered to us. Anything they can say.
The election commission is appearing before us.
Yes. I'll just read out.
Who's appearing for the election commission? Mr. Sharma, you have details of this data which has been submitted pursuant to the interim order.
We have that seal cover. Got that. My lords.
Do keep it with you in the court so that at an appropriate time we'd like to look at it.
But this is pertaining to 2019. That interim order was passed in 2019. So pertaining to that, the data is with us.
But they should give the data. This was a continuing interim order.
But this is not only confined to the 2019 election. The mandate is that you must continue to maintain this data.
As far as the data of 2019 is concerned, that's there in the seal cover. Because if my laws requires
data Mr. Sharma, let's be very clear. This is an interim order.
That's right.
It will continue till the decision.
So there are 40 legal lawsuits pending. Possibly that's the.
There are
till date. There are 14 of them.
For the past. That's for the past.
The above details will be furnished forthwith in respect of electoral bonds received by a political party till date. The detail of such other bonds received by such political party up to the date fixed for issuing such bond as per note of the Ministry of Finance dated so and so will be submitted on or before 30th May 2019.
So just one thing now. You are reading paragraph 13 as restricted by paragraph 14 and you have not carried forward the data with regard to post the interim order.
I'll have to seek instructions.
Please take instructions on that.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
14 does not restrict paragraph 13. Paragraph 14 is for the past. Paragraph 13 is from that period onwards.
Because I'll take it.
What paragraph 14 says is that in respect of the past period, the data will be submitted forthwith. But para 13 is a continuing direction. This is not only confined to the 2019 election.
And I'll seek instruction because I'll be.
Then, my lord, the next order at para 20, which I have quoted, is that mix and match thing. I said this honorable court in its interim order dated 26/3, subsequent interim order, however, based on the government's claims while rejecting the petitioner's prayer for interim stay, had noted, the financial statements of companies registered under the Companies Act, which are filed with the Registrar of Companies, are accessible online on the website of the ministry for anyone. They can also be obtained in physical form from the Registrar of Companies upon payment of prescribed fee. Since the scheme mandates political parties to file audited accounts of statements, and also the Companies Act requires financial statements of registered companies to be filed with the Registrar of Companies, the purchase as well as encashment of bonds happening only through banking channels is always reflected in documents that eventually come to the public domain. All that is required is a little more effort to cull out such information from both sides, purchaser of bond and political party, and do some match the following. Therefore, it is not as though the operation of the scheme are behind iron curtains incapable of being pierced. Pausing here, my lord. This is not correct because you can't. Citizen can't do this match the following, etc. Because the company does not disclose who they have given the bond to. Company only discloses the total bonds purchased. The political parties only discloses the total bonds received. So you can't, no citizen can match. Only the state bank. State bank and any law enforcement agency which asks such information from the state bank. Strictly speaking, only that. Otherwise, citizens certainly can't. It completely defeats the citizens' rights. Now, my lord, I just want to read out the objections of the Election Commission. Para 25. When this bond scheme was introduced, the Election Commission as well as the Reserve Bank strongly objected to it. In the Finance Act 2017. Sir, I am directed to draw your attention to Finance Act 2017, which has introduced certain amendments to the Income Tax Act, the Representation of People Act, Companies Act, and will have serious impact on transparency aspect of political finance funding of political parties. Then they mention the amendments, etc. And then they say,
what was the electoral trust?
Electoral trust is now is a kind of
That was 2013.
semi-anonymous instrument. This is what it is. So any company can form or set up what is called an electoral trust, so long as it is recognized by the Income Tax Department. In this electoral trust, any company can donate. So let's say that any company A has set up an electoral trust. Companies B, C, D, E, etc., they all donate to that trust. And that trust then donates to different political parties. So it's a kind of semi-anonymous system. Semi-anonymous meaning, of course, in income tax, they have to disclose who are the companies who have donated to this trust. They are also expected to disclose which are the political parties to which the trust has donated. But which company has donated to which political party is not known. Sometimes they may say, well, we didn't say, but in fact, my lord, what would be happening, I expect, would be every company donating to an electoral trust would say, look, I am giving this trust 50 crores and we want this 50 crores to be donated to A and B political parties. Normally, that's what is likely to have been happening, likely to be happening through these electoral trusts. So this is also a kind of semi-anonymous way, not totally anonymous, because you can come to know which are the companies who have donated to this electoral trust, and you can also come to know which are the political parties that this electoral trust has donated how much money to. So in that sense, there is more information than you have by way of electoral bond, but now, the justification, so the government said that we want to reduce cash. Earlier, people were donating through cash, and therefore, they also said that we have reduced this disclosure requirement from anything above 20,000 rupees to anything above 2,000 rupees. Though, my lord, that amendment was only made in the Income Tax Act, not followed through in the Representation of People Act. But let's assume that it would have been made even in the Representation of People Act. That means the law earlier was that you have to disclose any donations above 20,000 rupees. The political party has to disclose to the income tax as well as to the election commission. Anything received above 20,000 rupees, that has been brought down to 2,000. How will that reduce cash? Because earlier the party said that, look, we have received X crores by way of donations, small donations below 20,000. Now they will say, we have received the same X crores by way of small donations below 2,000. That's not going to make any difference, because all that the party has to say is ki we put out a sheet, we held a rally, we put out a chadar, and people put money in that. Somebody put 500 rupees, somebody put 200 rupees, somebody put 100 rupees, etc. And we have collected X number of crores from small donations in this manner. So therefore, that is not going to make any difference. If you had said, on the contrary, that every political party will only take money through banking channels and cash receipts are prohibited, they are a corrupt practice, or that the party shall be deregistered if it starts taking money, or the candidate will be disqualified if he takes money by cash, then yes, you could have done something to stop this menace of cash, etc. This has not stopped the menace of cash. Today, my lord, candidates are still spending many times the amount by way of cash, and they are not being caught. They are not being caught, unfortunately.
Right, now let's get into the submission.
Yes,
You
madam.
can just show us
Now,
what you
just
want.
one more thing.